Seaweed, during pregnancy benefits and harm. Useful properties of seaweed for pregnant women. A desired pregnancy completely changes a woman and her attitude to her own health. Now you can't treat yourself. You can't treat without restraint. You need to be in the fresh air more, often, walk more, and most importantly, you need to eat right. In the diet of a pregnant woman should be fruits and vegetables, cereals, meat, fish, dairy products. It is necessary to give preference to healthy methods of cooking steamed in the oven, baking. But most importantly, the food should be healthy, fresh and healthy. After all, the health of the baby in the womb depends on what a woman eats during pregnancy. If you live in an iodine-deficient region, you should include sea kale in your diet. Sea kale is an algae that grows under seawater. Algae are large green leaves that are harvested by hand. Nowadays, seaweed is grown artificially in special sea farms. They create conditions close to natural. The fungus is sown on the sandy seabed. When algae grow, men harvest them. The task is not easy. Large kelp leaves are sent to the cosmetic industry. They are used to make wraps against cellulite and other skin problems. Crushed kelp is washed and sent to food. We can find seaweed sold in dry or pickled form. The composition of seaweed is very rich. It has vitamins, fructose, and polysaccharides. How does the product affect the body of a pregnant woman? 1. Iodine. It is a very important microelement that is necessary for every person, and especially for pregnant women. The intellectual development of the baby in the womb, as well as the development of a healthy child's frame, depends on the level of iodine. Iodine deficiency can lead to abnormalities in fetal development, miscarriage, and premature birth. The need for iodine during pregnancy increases many times, which is why doctors recommend iodine alone or as part of a multivitamin complex. Especially if you live in a region with a small amount of iodine in the soil, iodine deficiency can be replenished with the help of seaweed. It contains a record amount of iodine. Just 300 grams of kelp per day will help you saturate the body with this important trace element. 2. Folic acid. Vitamin B9 plays a very important role in the development of the fetus, especially in the early stages. First of all, folic acid is necessary for the nervous system of the unborn baby. It protects the child from congenital malformations. Today, doctors do not recommend taking complex vitamins if a woman's nutrition can be considered sufficient. But folic acid, iodine, and magnesium should be drunk. Vitamin B9 should be drunk from the moment the child is planned and until the 14th week if the child's body is fully formed. Seaweed contains a large amount of folic acid. It is not only effective, but also a delicious medicine. 3. Against constipation. Seaweed is a natural plant fiber that propels stool through the intestines. This is very important because constipation during pregnancy occurs almost always. It is due to the hormone progesterone, which slows down intestinal motility. 4. From fatigue and anxiety. Unfortunately, a pregnant woman becomes more vulnerable and torn. Any, even insignificant event can make him off balance. Bromine and B vitamins in kelp make it possible to stabilize a woman's psycho-emotional state, increase stress resistance, and work capacity. 5. Against anemia. Sea kale contains a lot of iron, which is necessary for iron deficiency anemia. Almost every second woman during pregnancy suffers from low hemoglobin because the blood volume continues to increase. 6. Calcium. Laminaria is rich in calcium. It is also an important trace element for pregnancy, especially in the later stages. A lack of calcium in the body can cause seizures in the limbs. If you always drink a lot of sea water, you cannot be afraid of the healthy development of the baby's skeleton, as well as the mother's teeth, hair, and nails. 7. Vitamin C, and there is ascorbic acid in seaweed, which protects a woman from colds and flu. Be sure to include cabbage in your diet in winter and spring, when we don't get vitamins from natural vegetables and fruits. Sea kale perfectly fights inflammation and insomnia. These are the most common problems during pregnancy. Laminaria is also rich in vitamin A, which affects the baby's vision. To all of the above, you can add, seaweed has a very low calorie content. You cannot worry about your figure and enjoy a delicious meal all the time. Dangerous seaweed for pregnant women. As mentioned, there is a lot of iodine in seaweed, but there may be an excess of this trace element in the body. With hyperthyroidism, leaning on dishes with kelp is not recommended. If you have any endocrine disorders and you doubt the reception of the product, it is better to consult a doctor in advance. As previously mentioned, kelp can be presented in dry or pickled form. Try buying and cooking dried kelp pickled with lots of spices, vinegar, and sugar. By the way, algae often reflect the ecological situation of the place where they grow. Try to buy a quality product with certificates of conformity, otherwise, buy algae saturated with heavy metals. Seaweed is not incredibly incredibly healthy, but also incredibly tasty, delicious food that will certainly diversify your table. It is enough to soak the dried kelp in hot water, rinse and season with salt, garlic, and vegetable oil. Sea kale can be eaten as an independent side dish or use seaweed as part of salads. Eat seaweed, a delicious medicine for a pregnant woman.